Hello, and welcome. Find a comfortable position. Let your body grow heavy, and allow your breathing to become slow and deep. Tonight, we are not traveling towards the light, but away from it. We are seeking a place of profound silence, a place of perfect, unbroken darkness. What if I told you there is a region in the night sky, a cosmic desert so vast and empty that our own Milky Way galaxy would be but a grain of sand lost within it? This place is real. It is known as the Boötes Void, the great nothing. And for the next while, we will journey there together, leaving the noise and the light of our world far behind. We will explore its impossible scale, whisper about the theories of its creation, and float in its silent, starless expanse, allowing its quiet majesty to guide us into a deep and peaceful rest. There is nothing to fear in this emptiness. There is only calm and wonder. Our story begins not in the void itself, but here on Earth in the 1970s and 80s. For millennia, humanity looked up at the night sky and saw a beautiful but seemingly random scattering of stars. We assumed the universe was a uniform sprinkle of light across the vast canvas of space. But a new era of astronomy was dawning. Scientists began the painstaking work of mapping the universe in 3 dimensions. They used the concept of redshift, the way light from distant objects stretches and becomes redder as they move away from us, to calculate not just the direction of a galaxy, but its distance. In 1981, a team of astronomers, including Robert Kirshner, while conducting a survey of galaxy redshifts, noticed something strange. In a particular direction, in the vicinity of the constellation Boötes, the herdsman, their data showed a sudden, shocking absence of galaxies. At first, they suspected an error with their equipment. But as they gathered more data, the truth became undeniable. They had not found a new star or a new galaxy. They had found the opposite. They had discovered a hole in the cosmos. To truly begin our journey, we must first try to comprehend the scale of this void. It is a task that bends the mind and stretches the imagination to its very limits. The Boötes Void is what is known as a supervoid, and the name is an understatement. Its diameter is estimated to be nearly 330 million light years. Let us try to feel that number. A single light year is the distance light travels in 1 year, a journey of nearly 6 trillion miles. Our own Milky Way galaxy, with its hundreds of billions of stars, our home, is about 100,000 light years across. You could fit thousands of Milky Way galaxies side by side across the Boötes Void, and they would be lost, like tiny, luminous plankton in a dark, cosmic ocean. Imagine, for a moment, that you are standing at one edge of this great emptiness. You shine a flashlight, a beam of pure light, across the expanse. You then turn away and live your life. Generations of your descendants will be born. They will live their lives. Civilizations on your world will rise and fall. The very stars in your sky will age and change. And 330 million years later, on the far side of that emptiness, the first photons of your flashlight beam will finally arrive. That is the chilling, awe-inspiring scale of the silence we are entering. It is a silence measured not in moments, but in geological epochs. As we drift closer, the familiar tapestry of galactic clusters begins to thin. The distant glow of cosmic cities fades behind us, and we approach the shore of an ocean of nothing. As we cross the threshold, the feeling is not one of sudden change, but of a gradual, deepening quiet. The background hum of the universe seems to fade. The view from our imaginary vessel's window transforms. Behind us, the universe is a vibrant, interconnected web of light. The cosmic web, as astronomers call it. Filaments of galaxies and dark matter stretch for billions of light years, connecting massive clusters in a structure that resembles neurons in a brain. But ahead of us is the absence of that structure. It is a deep, velvety, almost pure blackness, punctuated by only the faintest, most distant specks of light from galaxies that lie far beyond the void. The emptiness is not absolute, of course. It is not a true vacuum in the philosophical sense. The void is still filled with the faint afterglow of the Big Bang, the cosmic microwave background radiation. It is filled with dark matter, that mysterious, invisible substance that holds galaxies together. And it is filled with dark energy, the even more mysterious force that is causing the universe to expand at an accelerating rate. But what it lacks is luminous matter. It lacks stars, gas, dust, and galaxies in the numbers we would expect. Based on the average density of the universe, a space this large should contain many thousands of galaxies. The Boötes Void, however, contains only about 60 tiny islands of light in an ocean of darkness, vast enough to contain a universe of its own. It is this profound discrepancy, this cosmic anomaly, that makes the void so utterly fascinating and so deeply peaceful to contemplate. Let us now consider the 60-odd galaxies that call this void home. Imagine being born on a planet in one of these galaxies, perhaps the one known as CG 549. Your night sky would be a sight of profound loneliness. You might see the beautiful spiral arms of your own home galaxy stretching overhead, a river of light, a comfort. But beyond that, the sky would be almost entirely black. There would be no neighboring Andromeda to gaze upon, no distant fuzzy patches of other galactic clusters. The nearest major galaxy would be so far away that it would be invisible to the naked eye, and perhaps even to early telescopes. The great cosmological discoveries of our own history, like Edwin Hubble's realization that the universe is expanding, might have been delayed by millennia, or perhaps never made at all. The inhabitants of this galaxy might develop philosophies and religions centered around their utter uniqueness, their solitude in the cosmos. They might believe that they are truly and completely alone. These galaxies are arranged in a strange, tube-like structure running through the middle of the void. They're like a string of faint pearls, a lonely caravan crossing an endless desert. What cosmic current, what gravitational river has pulled them into this formation? As we drift past one of these silent star islands, we do so with a sense of reverence for the life that might exist there, looking out into a sky so much darker, so much emptier than our own. So, how does such a monumental emptiness come to be? The leading scientific explanation is not one of destruction, but of construction. It is a natural consequence of how the universe itself is built. Let us travel back in time, back to the very first moments after the Big Bang. The universe was an incredibly hot, dense soup of particles. It was not perfectly uniform. There were minuscule quantum fluctuations, tiny variations in density from one point to another. As the universe expanded and cooled, gravity began to do its work. The slightly denser regions began to pull in more matter, growing ever denser. The slightly less dense regions, in turn, became more and more empty as their matter was drawn away. Over hundreds of millions and billions of years, this process, known as gravitational accretion, sculpted the cosmos. The rich got richer, and the poor got poorer. The dense regions coalesced into the stars, galaxies, and massive galactic clusters that form the cosmic web. The less dense regions, having lost their matter to their voracious neighbors, expanded and merged, becoming the great cosmic voids. In this view, the Boötes Void is not a hole punched in the universe. It is simply the leftover space, the quiet, forgotten valley between the great mountain ranges of galactic superclusters. It is a natural, if extreme, result of gravity's patient, relentless work over 13.8 billion years. This standard model explanation is elegant and fits well with our observations and simulations of the early universe. It paints a picture of a universe that is self-organizing, creating its own magnificent structure from the simplest of initial conditions. The voids are just as fundamental to this structure as the filaments and clusters. They are the yin to the galaxy's yang. They are the silence that gives the cosmic music its meaning. Imagine a foam of soap bubbles. The walls of the bubbles are thin and represent the places where galaxies cluster. The large, empty spaces inside the bubbles are the voids. The Boötes Void in this analogy is simply a particularly large bubble that formed when several smaller bubbles merged together. It's a beautiful, organic image. It suggests that the emptiness is not a mistake or an anomaly, but a necessary part of the whole. As you relax, as you breathe, you can picture this process. You can see the universe slowly taking shape. The great structures of light and darkness separating, finding their balance, creating the grand tapestry that we are only now beginning to perceive. The void is not a place of absence, but a place of quiet balance, a testament to the fundamental forces that have shaped everything that is and everything that isn't. But our journey is for sleep, for dreams, and in the realm of dreams, we can explore ideas that lie beyond the standard models. The sheer scale and emptiness of the Boötes Void have naturally inspired more speculative, more imaginative theories. One such idea is that voids are not just formed by the pulling of gravity, but also by the pushing of something else. Some theories propose exotic forms of energy or unknown particles that exert a kind of anti-gravity, actively pushing matter away and helping to clear out these enormous regions. This is sometimes linked to the mystery of dark energy. Perhaps dark energy is not uniform, and it is stronger within the voids, accelerating their expansion and making them even emptier over cosmic time. Imagine a gentle but persistent cosmic wind blowing for billions of years, sweeping the dust and gas and stars into the filaments of the cosmic web, leaving behind these regions of profound calm. As we float here, in the heart of the void, you can almost feel that gentle pressure, that slow, inexorable force that has polished this region of space to such a dark and perfect sheen. It is a force not of violence, but of immense cosmic patience, a sculptor working on a scale we can barely imagine. Let us venture further into the realm of speculation, into the kind of thoughts that are perfect for the borderlands of sleep. What if the void is not a natural formation at all? What if it is artificial? This is the realm of the Kardashev scale, a way of classifying hypothetical advanced civilizations. A Type 3 civilization would be capable of harnessing the energy of an entire galaxy. A civilization beyond that, perhaps a Type 4, might be able to manipulate cosmic structures themselves. Could the Boötes Void be the result of such a civilization's engineering project? Perhaps they harvested the energy and matter from thousands of galaxies to build something unimaginable, a Dyson sphere on a cosmic scale, or to fuel a journey to another universe. In this scenario, the void is not empty because nothing ever formed there. It is empty because it was cleared. It is an empty lot where a cosmic metropolis once stood. This idea is, of course, pure science fiction. There is no evidence for it whatsoever. But as a thought experiment, it is a powerful tool for contemplating scale and time. It recasts the void not as a place of primordial emptiness, but as a silent monument, a ruin on a scale so vast that the builders are as gods, and their motives are utterly beyond our comprehension. It is a humbling and strangely peaceful thought. Another fascinating and mind-bending idea comes from the frontiers of theoretical physics, from the strange and wonderful world of string theory and multiverse concepts. Some of these theories suggest that our universe might not be alone. It might be one of many, a single bubble in a vast cosmic foam of other universes. And sometimes these bubbles might collide. What would such a collision look like? Some physicists have speculated that it would leave a scar, a bruise on the fabric of space-time. Perhaps a supervoid like Boötes is just such a scar. It could be the lingering evidence of a cataclysmic encounter with another reality, billions of years ago. The energy of this collision could have pushed all matter out of the region, creating a permanent wound in the cosmos. As we float here, we are not just in an empty space, but in the memory of an ancient impact. We are touching a place where the rules of our reality were once violently disrupted. Again, this is speculation of the highest order, but it transforms the void into something else entirely. It is no longer just a lack of things, but an artifact, a clue to a history of the cosmos far grander and more violent than we ever imagined. It's a story whispered by the very shape of space-time itself. Let's bring our focus back from these grand, cosmic ideas to a more personal, internal experience. What does it feel like to be here, suspended in the great nothing? Let the concept wash over you. There are no nearby stars to light your way. There's no nearby gravity to pull on you. The silence is not just a lack of sound. It is a lack of information, a lack of events. The passage of time itself feels different here. On Earth, our lives are dictated by cycles, the rising and setting of the sun, the turning of the seasons, the ticking of a clock. But here in the void, such markers are meaningless. 1,000,000 years could pass, and the view would remain virtually unchanged. It is a place of stasis, a place of deep, unwavering calm. This is the perfect environment for sleep. It's an invitation to let go of your own cycles of worry and planning. Let go of the deadlines, the appointments, the anxieties of the day. In the context of the Boötes Void, they are less than insignificant. They are rounding errors in the cosmic equation. Allow the profound peace of this place to seep into your bones. Allow its silence to quiet the chatter in your mind. Breathe in the emptiness. Breathe out your troubles. Here, there is nothing to do, nothing to be, except at rest. Now, let's reflect on the color of the void. We call it black. But is it truly? The blackness we experience on Earth is rarely perfect. There's always some stray light, some reflection from the moon or city lights. The blackness here is of a different quality. It is a primordial black, the color of the universe before the first stars ignited. It is a deep, rich, and velvety texture that seems to absorb all thought, all worry. Staring into it is like looking at infinity. But even here, there is color, there is light if you know how to see it. Our eyes are not sensitive enough, but if we had the right instruments, we would see the entire void glowing faintly. This is the cosmic microwave background, or CMB. It is the oldest light in the universe, the fading echo of the Big Bang's creation fire, cooled over 13.8 billion years to just a few degrees above absolute zero. This light is everywhere, in all directions. So even here, in the emptiest place we know, we are bathed in the gentle, ancient warmth of our universe's birth. It is a reminder that no place is truly empty. No place is truly devoid of history or energy. The universe remembers its own beginning, and it whispers that memory, even in its most silent corners. Let that faint, ancient glow be a comforting blanket as you drift deeper into relaxation. Imagine we stop our imaginary vessel right in the center of the void. We are now about 165 million light years from the nearest significant collection of galaxies. In every direction we look, the view is the same, a profound and humbling emptiness. It is from this vantage point that we can truly appreciate the Copernican principle, the idea that Earth and humanity do not occupy a privileged position in the universe. Our planet is not the center of the solar system. Our solar system is not the center of the galaxy, and our galaxy is not at the center of the universe. In fact, our galaxy is part of a dense, urban area of the cosmos, a bright filament in the cosmic web. This place, this void, is a powerful reminder of that. The universe is mostly this. It is mostly empty space, cold and dark. The light, the warmth, the life that we know is the exception. It exists on tiny, fragile islands in this overwhelming sea of night. And yet, this realization is not frightening. It is beautiful. It makes our own existence, our own small, warm, noisy world, all the more precious. It is a miracle of cosmic statistics, a lucky fluke of gravity. Our existence is a brief and beautiful flicker of light against the backdrop of this immense and silent darkness, and that makes it all the more meaningful. Let us return to the scientific perspective for a moment and consider the future of the Boötes Void. The universe is not static, it is expanding, and thanks to dark energy, This expansion is accelerating. What does this mean for the voids? It means they will grow. Over unimaginable timescales, the cosmic voids will expand and merge, pushing the filaments of galaxies further and further apart. The lonely galaxies inside the Boötes Void will become even more isolated. The great superclusters that define its borders will recede from view, eventually crossing a cosmic horizon, beyond which their light can never reach the void again. In the far, far future, trillions of years from now, the entire universe might come to resemble one vast, empty void. All that will be left are the cold, dead remnants of stars and black holes, separated by impossible distances. The view from inside the Boötes Void is, in a sense, a preview of the universe's ultimate fate. It is a glimpse into the heat death of the cosmos, an era of eternal, cold darkness. But this is not a sad story. It is a story of entropy, of a natural, peaceful winding down. It is the universe finding its final, quiet equilibrium. It is the ultimate sleep. And by contemplating it, we can find a deeper sense of peace with the cycles of beginnings and endings, both large and small. Let's perform another thought experiment, one of sound. We know that space is a near perfect vacuum, and sound cannot travel through it. But if we could assign a sound to this place, what would it be? It would not be the crashing of waves or the rustling of leaves. It would not be the roar of engines or the murmur of voices. The sound of the Boötes Void would be the lowest possible frequency, a subsonic hum so deep it is felt rather than heard. It would be the sound of space-time itself expanding. It would be the sound of quantum fluctuations in the vacuum, a faint, random static. It would be the sound of absolute zero, the cessation of all motion. As you lie there, listening not with your ears but with your mind, you can try to hear this sound. It is the baseline of existence. It is the foundational note upon which the entire symphony of the cosmos is built. Allow this deep, imagined hum to vibrate through you, loosening any remaining tension in your body. It is the sound of pure relaxation, the sound of letting go. It is the universe breathing slowly and deeply, and you are breathing with it in perfect harmony. What can the void teach us? Every feature of the universe has a lesson for us, if we are willing to listen. The stars teach us of brilliance and energy. The galaxies teach us of community and structure. The black holes teach us of gravity and mystery. And the void teaches us of the importance of emptiness. In our lives, we often rush to fill every empty moment. We fill silence with noise, stillness with activity, empty space with possessions. We are often afraid of being empty, of being alone with our own thoughts. But the Boötes Void shows us that emptiness is not a negative thing. It is a fundamental part of the whole. Emptiness is what gives form to structure. The space inside a house is what makes it livable. The silence between musical notes is what creates the melody. The emptiness of the void is what gives the cosmic web its beautiful, intricate shape. So perhaps we can learn to appreciate the voids in our own lives. The quiet moments, the times of rest, the periods of not knowing. They are not a lack of life. They are the space in which life can grow. They are necessary for balance, for peace, and for perspective. Let us now imagine we have a special telescope, one that can see not in light, but in gravity. We point it into the heart of the Boötes Void. What would we see? While the void is empty of light, it is not empty of gravity. It is still filled with a diffuse sea of dark matter. Our gravity telescope would show us a much smoother, gentler landscape. We would see the faint, ghostly outlines of the cosmic web, far less dramatic than the one traced by light. We would see the shallow gravitational valleys of the void and the towering peaks of the galaxy clusters. Dark matter is the scaffolding upon which the luminous universe is built. The void exists because this scaffolding is sparse here. The dark matter is stretched thin, unable to collect enough gas and dust to ignite the fires of star formation on a grand scale. So even in its emptiness, the void is telling us a story about the unseen majority of the universe. It is a testament to the power of this invisible substance, whose gravitational influence has been the primary architect of the cosmos for over 13 billion years. As you drift off, you can feel yourself supported by this invisible scaffolding, held safely in the gentle, cosmic structure of the night. It is interesting to note that the discovery of the Boötes Void was, for a time, a challenge to our cosmological models. It was so much larger than the voids that our computer simulations of the early universe were predicting. It was an outlier, an anomaly. It seemed too big, too empty, to have formed naturally in the time since the Big Bang. This is how science works. Nature presents a puzzle, and scientists work to refine their theories to solve it. For a while, the Great Nothing made us question if we truly understood how cosmic structures formed. Over time, with more powerful simulations and a better understanding of the ingredients of the universe, like dark energy, our models have improved. They can now produce supervoids of this scale, suggesting that while rare, the Boötes Void is not impossible. It is simply a roll of the cosmic dice that came up with an extreme, but statistically plausible result. This story is a quiet reminder of the process of discovery. It is a process of wonder, confusion, and eventual, deeper understanding. It is a peaceful, unfolding narrative, much like the process of falling asleep. Let's turn our attention inward again. The concept of a void can be a powerful metaphor for the mind. Sometimes our minds can feel like the cosmic web, a dense, tangled network of thoughts, anxieties, and memories, all firing at once. It can feel crowded and noisy. The practice of meditation, of mindfulness, is in many ways an attempt to create a small void within our own consciousness. It is an attempt to quiet the chatter, to let the thoughts drift apart, and to find the empty space between them. By contemplating the Boötes Void, we are engaging in a cosmic scale meditation. We are focusing on an object of such profound stillness that it naturally calms our own inner state. Imagine your worries are like galaxies. For a moment, allow them to be pulled away by the gravity of distant superclusters, leaving your mind as clear, open, and peaceful as the Great Nothing. There is a sense of liberation in this mental emptiness. It is a space where new thoughts can arise, or where one can simply exist without the need for constant thinking. Let your mind become a reflection of the void, vast, silent, and at peace. Consider the name, Boötes, the herdsman. It is one of the ancient constellations imagined by Greek and Babylonian stargazers thousands of years ago. They saw the shape of a man driving the bears, Ursa Major and Ursa Minor, around the North Star. It is a pastoral, earthly image, one of fields and seasons and patient work. It is a beautiful irony that this humble, ancient herdsman in our sky is the gatekeeper to the largest and most mysterious void we know of. It is a reminder of the connection between the ancient world and the modern, between the myths we tell ourselves and the profound truths we uncover with our instruments. The same patch of sky that our ancestors filled with stories of gods and heroes, we have now mapped to reveal an emptiness on a scale they could never have conceived. And yet, both are acts of the same human impulse to look up at the night sky and try to make sense of our place in the universe, to find meaning in the patterns of light and darkness. As we float in the void, we are connected to every human who has ever looked up in wonder, from the ancient shepherds to the modern cosmologists. The light from the far side of the Boötes Void began its journey towards us 330 million years ago. What was happening on Earth at that time? It was the Carboniferous period. The first great forests were spreading across the land, creating the coal deposits we use today. The first reptiles were evolving from amphibians. The continents were arranged in a completely different configuration. In the time it has taken for that light to cross the void and reach our telescopes, our planet has undergone profound transformations. Dinosaurs have risen and fallen. Mammals have come to dominate. And in the last tiny fraction of that journey, human civilization has appeared. This is another way to feel the scale of the void, through the lens of deep time. The void is a time machine. Looking across it is looking into a past so distant that our own world is unrecognizable. This perspective is deeply calming. It reminds us that our own time, our own lives, are part of a much longer, much grander story. We are a recent chapter in an ancient book, and this knowledge allows us to hold our own concerns a little more lightly, to see them as part of a vast, flowing river of time. Let us imagine just for a moment that we could send a message into the void, a message in a bottle, cast into a cosmic ocean. What would we say? We could not send sound. We would have to send a radio signal, a pulse of light. It would travel for millions of years through the silence, perhaps to be received by no one. What would be the purpose of such a message? It would not be for communication, but for a different reason. It would be an act of defiance against the emptiness. It would be a declaration that in at least one small corner of the universe, there was thought and feeling and hope. It would be a single, luminous word spoken into the great silence. Perhaps the message would simply be, "We were here." It is a comforting thought that even in the face of such overwhelming emptiness, the human spirit seeks to create, to connect, to leave a mark. As you fall asleep, you can think about your own small signal, the positive energy you put out into the world. It may seem to travel into a void at times, but it travels nonetheless, a small but meaningful flicker of light in the darkness. There's a concept in philosophy and aesthetics known as the sublime. The sublime is a feeling of awe and wonder mixed with a hint of terror that we experience when faced with something of immense scale or power, like a vast mountain range, a powerful storm, or the night sky. The Boötes Void is perhaps the ultimate sublime object. Its scale is so far beyond our human comprehension that it forces us to confront our own smallness, our own finitude, and yet this experience is not negative. It is elevating. By contemplating the void, we transcend our everyday, ego-bound perspective and connect with something much larger than ourselves. It is a feeling of dissolution, of merging with the cosmos. The anxiety of the self can melt away when faced with an object 330 million light years across. This is the paradoxical gift of the great nothing. It is so empty that it fills our minds completely. It is so vast that it allows us to feel a sense of boundless freedom. Allow yourself to feel this cosmic sublime. Let it wash over you like a gentle wave, cleansing your mind and preparing you for a deep and restorative sleep. As our journey through the void continues, notice the quality of the darkness. It has a presence, a texture. This is not the frightening darkness of a scary movie. This is a comforting, maternal darkness. The darkness of the womb, the darkness of deep space from which everything was born. It is a regenerative darkness. It is in the dark soil that seeds germinate. It is in the darkness of sleep that our bodies and minds heal and recharge. We have come to associate darkness with negativity. But in the cosmos, darkness is the default state. It is the canvas upon which the light is painted. The Boötes Void is a celebration of this primordial darkness. It asks us to reevaluate our relationship with it, to see it not as an absence of something good, but as a presence of something peaceful and fundamental. So, as you close your eyes, do not fight the darkness. Welcome it. Sink into it. It is a safe and quiet harbor. It is the natural state of the universe. And tonight, it is your friend. It is here to hold you, to quiet you, and to grant you rest. Let us think about the edges of the void. What do they look like? The transition is not a sharp wall, but a gradual thinning of the cosmic web. Astronomers call these edge regions the Great Walls. One of them, the Sloan Great Wall, is one of the largest known structures in the universe, a vast filament of galactic superclusters. The Boötes Void is bordered by these immense structures. It is like a giant, cosmic nature preserve, surrounded by bustling celestial highways. Imagine standing on a planet at the very edge of the void. In one direction, your sky would be ablaze with the light of thousands of nearby galaxies, a celestial metropolis stretching from horizon to horizon. In the other direction, you would see nothing, absolute blackness. It would be the most dramatic vista imaginable, a sky of ultimate contrast, a sky of all and nothing side by side. This image is a powerful metaphor for balance. Life is a mixture of the full and the empty, the light and the dark, the sound and the silence. The edge of the void is a place where this cosmic duality is on magnificent display. As you drift, you can find your own point of balance on the peaceful border between consciousness and sleep. Are there other voids like this one? Yes, many. The universe is full of them. There is the Boötes Supervoid, also known as the CMB cold spot, a place that is strangely cold in the cosmic microwave background. There is the northern local supervoid, which we on the outskirts of. Our own Milky Way galaxy is located in a smaller void within a larger supercluster. We are, in a sense, suburbanites of the cosmos, living in a quiet area but with the bright lights of the Virgo supercluster, not too far away. The Boötes Void is special only in its exceptional size. Knowing that voids are a common feature of the universe makes them feel less strange, less anomalous. They are part of the landscape. Just as a planet has mountains, valleys, and oceans, the universe has clusters, filaments, and voids. It is the natural topography of space-time. Realizing this normalizes the emptiness, makes it feel less like a mystery to be solved, and more like a feature to be appreciated, like a vast, silent desert or a calm, deep ocean. It is a part of the home we all share. As we prepare to end our journey, let us reflect on the name again, the Great Nothing. Is it truly nothing? And we have discovered that it is not. It is filled with dark matter, dark energy, and the ancient light of the CMB. It is populated by a few lonely galaxies. It is shaped by the fundamental laws of physics and the grand history of the cosmos. It is a place of profound quiet, but not of true nothingness. Perhaps a better name would be the Great Silence, or the Great Peace. The name we give to things shapes our perception of them. If we call it nothing, it can feel scary, a void in the negative sense. But if we call it the Great Silence, it becomes something else. It becomes a sanctuary, a place of refuge from the constant noise of existence. It becomes a cosmic monastery, a place for contemplation and rest. So, as you lie here, you can rename it for yourself. Choose a name that feels comforting, that feels right. The Great Calm. The ocean of tranquility. The sea of sleep. And allow yourself to float upon its gentle, silent waters. The discovery of the Boötes Void fundamentally changed our picture of the universe. It was a key piece of evidence that showed us that matter is not distributed uniformly, but is arranged in this beautiful, web-like pattern. It was a moment of profound discovery, a redrawing of the cosmic map. Imagine the feeling of those astronomers slowly realizing the scale of what they had found. It must have been a moment of pure, unadulterated awe. We can share in that feeling tonight. We can feel the wonder of discovery, the thrill of understanding something new and profound about the reality we inhabit. This sense of wonder is a powerful antidote to anxiety. It lifts us out of our own small concerns and connects us to the grand, ongoing story of cosmic exploration. You are a part of this story. Your consciousness, your ability to wonder and to comprehend, is one of the most remarkable phenomena in the universe. And tonight, you have used that remarkable ability to visit a place 330 million light years wide. It is a testament to the power of your own imagination, the most incredible vessel of all. Our journey is now coming to a close. It is time to begin the slow drift back home. We turn our imaginary vessel around, and behind us, the great nothing recedes. In front of us, the lights of the cosmic web grow brighter. We see the familiar shapes of galactic filaments and superclusters welcoming us back. We are leaving the great silence and returning to the cosmic city. We cross the border, and the density of stars and galaxies around us begins to increase. We feel the gentle pull of nearby gravity once more. We are returning to the land of light and matter. The journey has been long, but peaceful. We have seen a place of incredible scale and stillness, and we carry a piece of that stillness with us. The memory of the void is now a part of you, a mental sanctuary you can return to whenever you need a moment of peace. It is a reminder of the vast, quiet backdrop against which our busy lives unfold. As we get closer to home, the lights become more familiar. We are now approaching our own supercluster, Laniakea, a Hawaiian word meaning immeasurable heaven. It is a fitting name for our home island in the cosmic ocean. We navigate through its outskirts, past countless galaxies, each one a collection of billions of stars and infinite possibilities. We are heading for a specific spiral arm of a specific galaxy. The Milky Way comes into view, a beautiful swirling disk of light and dust. It feels vibrant and alive after the profound emptiness of the void. We find our way to the Orion Arm, and there we see a familiar yellowish star, our sun. It is a beacon of warmth and life, a comforting and familiar sight. As we get closer, we see the planets of our solar system, orbiting in their graceful, silent dance. We see the gas giants and the rocky inner worlds. And then we see it, a small blue and white marble, shimmering in the sunlight. Our home, Earth. We gently re-enter the atmosphere, the feeling of gravity returning, grounding us. We descend through the clouds, over the oceans and continents, over the sleeping cities and quiet countrysides. We are returning to our own room, to our own bed. The cosmic journey is over, but the journey into sleep is just beginning. You are safe. You are comfortable. You are home. The silence of the Boötes Void remains with you, not as an emptiness, but as a deep internal calm. The worries of the world seem distant and small, seen from the perspective of 330 million light years. Your body is heavy and relaxed. Your mind is quiet and still. You are ready for sleep. You have floated in the great nothing, and now you can float into the great restorative peace of a deep and dreamless slumber. The universe is vast and silent, and you are a part of its magnificent, quiet beauty. Rest now. Sleep now. Tonight, we journeyed together to the edge of cosmic understanding, into the heart of the Boötes Void. We stood before a canvas of nothingness, 330 million light years wide, and found that it was not empty at all. It was filled with history, with the echoes of creation, with dark matter's invisible architecture, and with a silence so profound it could quiet the busiest mind. We learned that this great nothing is not a mistake or a monster, but a natural and necessary part of our universe's grand design. The quiet space that gives the cosmic symphony its form. The most stunning realization is that this void, a place of supreme isolation, connects us more deeply to our own existence. Its emptiness highlights the preciousness of our own vibrant, crowded, luminous world. It is a reminder that in a universe defined by silence, our small, noisy planet is a miracle of the highest order. Thank you for joining me on this peaceful voyage. If this journey helped you relax, please consider subscribing for more lectures on the mysteries of the cosmos. Your likes and comments help our channel reach others who may need a quiet escape. My question for you tonight is this: if you could name one of the lonely galaxies inside the Boötes Void, what name would you choose and why? Share your thoughts in the comments below. For now, close your eyes and let the great silence carry you away. Good night.